it is getting vacation time.
Yes, vacation time.
A lot of people taking vacations, which means those RVs that normally don't get out very often,
right,
are going to be drug out. Maybe they've got some tire problems, or maybe there's a little problem here or there. What do you do about RV insurance and things like recreational vehicles and boats and stuff like that?
Sure, yeah, RVs are pretty much like your boats, and it's one of those deals that, unless you live in it full time, which, by the way, we're seeing a lot of folks doing that now.
Yes, more and more.
Yeah, a lot of your oil field guys, they will buy an RV and go put it out on site, and that's kind of their home away from home while they're out on site working or what have you. So we're seeing it a lot more. But for the recreational folks, hey, it's the summertime, let's go do it. It's always a good idea to, kind of get the batteries checked, get the tires checked. If those tires have been sitting there for a while, hey, have somebody take a look at them. Might need to rotate them a little bit, make sure they're good and aired up, the tread's good to go, things like that. And just make sure it's always roadworthy. Unlike a car that you get in and out of every single day, those RVs, they tend to show their wear and tear a lot more. And strangely enough, they seem to show it only when you need it right away. Hey, we're going on a big weekend trip. Let's get in the RV on Friday. That's when it always seems to have a problem. So plan ahead. Make sure that you leave plenty of time to have somebody take a look at that. There's definitely some service folks in the area that can do that. Bring it into them. Hey, give it the once over. Check the plugs, check the tires, check the batteries, make sure we're all good to go. From an insurance perspective, you can always get that sucker insured as well. We at Bryan Insurance write many different companies that will write those. Anywhere from, like I said, a full-timer, hey, this is my home away from home. I've got one of those big tour bus RVs. We travel the country in it. We can do those all the way down to, yeah, we bought it, and we use them maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Don't really have much of our stuff in it. We kind of load it in before the weekend, we take it out after the weekend, and then we just kind of park it. Soup to nuts, we can do the whole thing, depending on, again, how you're going to use it.
Yeah, you got these guys like me. I've got an Airstream trailer that we take out here and there, and it seemed to me like one of the things that's always got a problem is the brake lights and lighting and stuff like that. Yeah, it's always something like that. I guess for an insurance perspective, do you need to go get all that stuff? Make sure it's working before you take off. And what does insurance say? Like, hey, you didn't get this checked out. You didn't get this done before you left. I mean, what are some of the deals on that?
Yeah, I mean, from an insurance perspective, there's no real requirement saying, hey, you have to have this done. Like, you want to make sure your brakes are checked or your cables. I'll tell you, trailers are my nemesis. From anything that you pull behind a truck that you have to wire to your truck, again, always seems to go out when you need it the most. No matter how good you take care of it, it just happens. And so that's not so much from an insurance perspective as it is just a roadworthy perspective, right, and a safety perspective. You, again, don't get yourself in a pickle. Leave plenty of time. I always say give it like 2 weeks. If you know, for example, hey, 4th of July is coming up, we're going to go party somewhere, we're going to take the Airstream out, start now. Pull that sucker out. Hook it up to multiple vehicles, because that's the other fun thing I found out with trailers too, is that, hey, I hooked it up to this truck and it worked fine. When I hooked it up to that one, something was wrong.
Different.
Because the wiring could always be, it could be the trailer, it could be the truck. You want to make sure that's taken care of. You want to make sure you've got, the lights are working, the turn signals, especially the turn signals on a trailer, because most of those, they cannot see the brake lights of the car or the vehicle ahead of them. So you want to make sure that you give your drivers around you plenty of time, for traveling around you and safety and so forth. So make sure the lights work, make sure the brakes work. Brakes are another thing. I had a family friend of ours that went out to the cliff diving stuff and had a great time on the boat. Sunday afternoon, hey, it's time to load the boat up and take it out. Guess what? The brakes would not work on the trailer. It could only go in reverse, and they were locked up.
Wow.
And so Murphy's Law says that's going to happen to you. So try to prevent that. Make sure your ride is roadworthy.
Mm-hmm.
and get everything checked out.
Now, if someone is, like you say, fixing to take the RV or a boat or whatever out for the 4th of July, maybe it's the first time they got it out this summer.
Sure.
Do they need to give you a call and say, hey, we need to get insurance or get this? What do I need to do to get this thing insured?
Yeah, it's really pretty simple. Most of those RVs are going to have, obviously, a make and a model, much like a car. Most of them are going to have a VIN number. Most of your newer ones, the VIN numbers look pretty much exactly like the autos. So give us a call. Let us know all the pertinent information. We're going to need, obviously, your name, driver's license, address. We're also going to need the particulars on the vehicle. Hey, it's a 2013 Airstream whatever. This is the VIN number. Hey, this is what I paid for it. This is what it's worth. Hey, do I want comp and collision? I'm not too concerned about that. What type of RV are we talking about? Let's get all those particulars. We'll run it through a few of the companies that we represent, see which is the better deal for you. There's a lot of companies that offer coverages that maybe some companies don't, whether it be trip interruption, towing and so forth. If you've broken down on the side of the road with one of those suckers, you're not just talking about towing like a truck.
Right.
It's a little bit something different, so you want to make sure you have enough coverage in there if that's something that you're interested in. Just, again, give us all the particulars, and we'll make sure you're covered the way you need to be.
So give them a call today and get it done, because you don't want to ruin your trip with something like that. Now, Joe, if they can give you a call, get a hold of you guys, how's the best way to do that?
Really, really simple. 549-2525. You can come on up to the second floor of the Sierra Bank building, walk in the doors, and we'll be more than happy to help you. But you can also visit our website, brianins.com. We've actually got a new deal we're letting folks know about. It's identity theft coverage, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the coming weeks. We've got a company that we've partnered with to offer identity theft protection. Again, you can never prevent it. That's something that's just not going to happen. Nobody can prevent it. It's basically managing the disaster. And so there's a lot of companies out there that are very well known that will assist you with that. Basically, they say, hey, pay us, and we're going to give you the forms. Mm-hmm. The company we represent, you can get all the information on our website, brianins.com, actually manages it for you. Get some information, takes about an hour, gives you a dashboard of sorts to let you go and monitor, see what's going on, and they handle the work for you. It's a really, really affordable price. It's again, it's managing the disaster. You're never going to be able to prevent it. And so check out our website, brianins.com, for more information. Call us, 549-2525, and let us make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah, if you've been born, basically you're under attack from identity thieves.
Pretty much. Good way to look at it.
We'll be talking about that in the coming days. We got more coming up here on your Cornelius Custom Services 8 o'clock report. Thank you, Joe, for coming by and visiting with us. And we got a lot coming up, so stick around, stay tuned. Don't you go away.